Hey everyone, so happy Wednesday. I was going to come at you with another keto kitchen. I was going to make keto spaghetti. However, time got away from me. I ended up having leftovers, more stuffed avocados, because I had a couple avocados left, and I had more stuffing from last night if you watched yesterday's video. If not, it's the one before this, so go check it out. So instead of coming at you with another keto kitchen, I wanted to come at you with some kitchen keto pitfalls that I've found. As with anything, excess, I think, is the worst because what I've watched and from conversations I've had with people that are new to keto, complete strangers, and people that I know very well that have decided to get into keto is what you see about keto is, oh, you can eat bacon, you can have cheese, you can have butter, you can have all these fatty, yummy foods, and then you have all these foods that are marketed for keto, like you get keto cookies, keto gummies, so on and so forth. And what happens is people decide they're going to do dirty keto, which I actually do lazy keto. I'm eking into strict keto just because I'm wanting to lean down more and because I'm also doing 75 hard. But I do kind of tilt more towards lazy keto, not dirty keto, but lazy keto, just because of the fact that I have a little one and sometimes I just don't think to, pull out my phone, grab my carb manager and scan a product in. And do know carb manager does have some macros wrong, so do double check. And that's the other big pitfall that I've noticed a lot of people have fallen into is they want to depend solely on carb manager or labels, and not by, sorry guys, the way my lighting's going, and not by the way the label reads on the back, but the way the label reads on the front, because they'll read on the front 5 net carbs and they won't go read the back. Sometimes it is a little misleading, and the way that you track net carbs, simplest way I can tell you, my little one's talking. The way you can track it is you take your total carbohydrates. So let's say you're going to eat some and the total carbohydrates are 10 carbohydrates. Okay, then you're going to go minus the fiber. Say there's 3 grams of fiber. So 10 minus 3 is going to equal 7. But then it's going to say 2 sugar alcohols. You're also going to minus that. So you're going to end up down to 5 net carbs. You want to watch Nuts now? Okay, we'll watch Nuts now. So that becomes a total of 5 net carbs. And that's the simplest way to figure it out that I've been taught. I mean, you can Google other ways. The biggest keto pitfall is nobody wants to put in the research. So look at stuff, get recipe books. You can find them in any grocery store, any bookstore. You can Google anything. Over time I've collected, I've bought a book off of Amazon. I've also gotten several. I've gotten a little tiny book. It's about this big that I found in one of the aisles at my grocery store. And I've bought a couple other magazine books from my grocery store about keto just to kind of learn different ways to prepare meals. Because believe it or not, when you eliminate carbs, there's a lot of stuff you don't realize that you were eating. But so like I said, it's a lot of label reading that's a pitfall. And the other one is just plain gluttony with it. Oh, I can eat fatty foods. I can eat bacon, so I can have 12 pieces of bacon, and I can have cheese all over my eggs, and I can just, oh my god, I can just lather on the whipped cream, and I can just stuff, and then you gain 3 pounds, and you're like, well, last week I lost 5, and this week I gained 3. Why am I gaining weight? I'm doing keto. This keto's bullshit. No, it's not keto's bullshit. It's that you're still being gluttonous. You still need to do in moderation. And I know that was one of the hugest pitfalls I fell into in the beginning is, of course, when you're going from carbs and if you're going from sugar, if you're cutting out sugar, if you're the type of person, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, well, cutting out sugar to me meant I just didn't put sugar in my coffee every morning. Okay, there's some people that cutting out sugar meant, like my mom could drink 6 sweet teas in a day, it seemed like. Like she was constantly going to McDonald's getting dollar sweet teas. So cutting out sugar for her was a huge deal. Now, for me, it was coffee and it was some sweets. So you try to find those alternatives. Okay, so you go ahead and you switch to monk fruit sweetener or stevia or whatever for your coffee. Or you get some of those sugar-free syrup syrups that you can get at the grocery store, or skinny syrups, whichever. You can find those at Marshall's. I'll try to do a video in this series of videos where I tell you where to get certain stuff, grocery hauls and stuff. But okay, so that seems like a simple enough remedy, because you don't seem to double up on your coffee. If you're always the type that drinks 3 cups a day, you tend to still be the type that drinks 3 cups a day. You don't suddenly start drinking 6 because you've got skinny syrup. But you're the type that likes to eat Sour Patch Kids. That was me. I like Sour Patch Kids when I went to go see a movie, movie theaters before COVID. Or I sat down and watched Grey's Anatomy. It's one of my shows, or Big Bang Theory. I liked that, or Haribo gummy bears, but more so I liked Sour Patch Kids. So I found what's called Smart Sweets, and they make these little sour gummies, and they're freaking amazing. I hear the peach rings are even better. I'm going to have to try them at some point. But so I got like 4 bags from my grocery store, and do note, keto snacks are not cheap. So when you binge on those, your wallet takes a bit of a hit. So I made that mistake because they're just itty bitty bags, and you're just like, doesn't make sense. And you're used to those big bags of Sour Patch Kids. So I'm like, I can eat 2 of these bags. I can get away with 3, because that equals about what a bag of Sour Patch Kids are. Okay, you compound that over time, over a week, a month, you're still putting in excess carbs. You're still getting in some form of sugar, and you're still going to gain weight. It's just not going to work. It's the same thing with bacon and fat, like butter, avocados. If you sit and eat 4 avocados in one setting, and then the next meal you eat 2 avocados and a pound of bacon, you're still going to gain weight. You're still going to put weight on. So it's just, you still need to be mindful. Now, people say the keto flu is a big pitfall, stuff like that. That kind of depends on everybody's body. Some people don't feel the keto flu. Some people do. Some people get bits and pieces of it. I got a tiny human that passed out. You guys want to see this? She never falls asleep that quick. But nonetheless, so that's the biggest pitfalls I see, is just being gluttonous. People are very, very aware of the keto flu. People are very aware that it is hard to calculate, can be hard to calculate net carbs. Most people are aware of Carb Manager, or that there's some kind of keto app. I think my cousin didn't ask me. She got on keto too, and she didn't reach out to me in the beginning to find out if there was a keto app. So she has an iPhone, so she just looked in the Apple store. She's like, I downloaded 6 different keto apps. And I'm like, oh crap. Okay, so you can Google stuff. It's really not that hard to figure that stuff out. But what a lot of people don't think about when they're first starting is you still need to be mindful of how much of everything you're eating. So that's my soapbox. That's the biggest keto pitfall I've found. The biggest 2, actually. 2 biggest ones I found is 1, gluttony. Excess. Just shoving it down in your mouth, down your gullet, thinking, oh, I can eat all this because it's fatty foods, and not realizing you went way over your fat macros, and bam. If you're that type of person, I do suggest counting. Using Carb Manager, and at least getting a rough idea of what you should be in, and kind of roughly tracking it. If you're like me with a little one, sometimes you can't think to scan stuff, but you at least mentally then are looking at your foods going, okay, I know that roughly I can have a bag of that, or I can have one carb tortilla to 1 slice of cheese or 3 slices of meat, whatever. That's the first one. And the second one is trusting the front of the labels. Do the math yourself. Do the math yourself off the back of them, because you can't, and also check how much that means, because people will grab a bag of those little gummies, like I said, and it'll say 3 net carbs, and what they'll do is they'll assume it's the whole bag, and they don't look at the back and look at serving size is 1/4 the bag or half the bag. So that's the other big pitfall. All right, guys, I'm going to cut this. Please subscribe to the channel. All my social medias are linked below. Again, I'm having problems with my Facebook Live, so I'm doing everything here from YouTube. I'm having problems uploading videos to my Instagram, complete videos. So I'm either having to upload clips or just not uploading anything at all. I don't know what's going on with my social media sites right now. Some of it may be my internet, but nonetheless, please subscribe. Tomorrow I will come at you God willing, everything goes right with keto spaghetti. Have a great Wednesday. Happy hump day. Keep killing it on your keto diet. You got this. Don't worry, small steps.